Hey folks, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we've got another turn here. This is more going to be kind of probably a quicker, hopefully, episode. I'm going to ramble about some things. As you can see, there's not a lot that's happening. It's my live turn. I don't have more to show you than this. But we'll start with the battle. We are attacking into this fort, and I am trying desperately to get this guy killed. I tried sacrificing him to the trolls. Here I was hoping there'd be a Soul Slay Communion or something. But sadly, I've been failing to get him killed. And he indeed survives another day. Yeah, we found two sites, though. We found an ancient temple. That's our second one, which is a bit luckier than normal for holy site searching. So we've gotten two ancient temples. In fact, I think half our income just about is from site searching holy rather than astral. Which is a little unfortunate on the astral side, but pretty good luck on the holy side. Yeah. Ooh. Apparently Arca's going to claim this throne here shortly as well. Throne of the Sun. We'll probably see them claim another one. He's got his god here this turn. He had taken this fort, Marignon's Cap, last turn. I believe it was last turn. And then this turn, Ulm has popped this fort. And this is going to be a dire battle. On one hand, there's a lot of ranged support. We know there's going to be flying behemoths, which are really strong. Presumably, Ulm is going to have iron darts or iron blizzard. These are all going to be things which are very good, like the rangers and all that. Are going to be really good at fighting through a gate. However, if Vedheim has a critical a critical mass of Skelly spam, and we know that all the Vedheim mage cores inside this fort, it is possible that what Ulm is bringing is insufficient. For example, the elephants could fly in and die in the first 4 or 5 rounds of combat. The behemoths. The Rangers may kill a bunch of all the Vedheim troops, of which there's probably about 170. And Vedheim, I can't remember. They may have... I don't think they have many crossbowmen, but they might have some. But they could kill, all the Vedheim melee troops, the Remvedi, which are going to be pretty resistant to the crossbows, to be completely honest. So, they could kill all those, but they may not. They may run out of ammo before the Skelly spam is dead. And if they can't break the gate and there's a ton of Skelly spam, they will turn timer before the defenders will, and they'll run. The things that will not run out of ammo are going to be Banishment. They've got a bunch of Black Priests. They can do Iron Darts or maybe even Iron Blizzards at this point. So they've got a bunch of things they can do. But I think it's going to be dicey. I'm not sure who's going to win. I'm looking forward to seeing. Other news in the turn. We found 10 blood slaves, so we're still blood hunting this. I'm not sure if this is going to go to Ulm or me, but it's where our god is, and we're going to be blood hunting it, because I want to get, at least to the degree that I can, I'd like to get 2... We're empowering this lady right here, Ura, in blood, and the reason is she's better than a scout, has reasonably good stats, but is also stealthy, and... might as well do her. But yeah, we're empowering her in blood. She's set to retreat. We're going to probably move her. So she's first going to make a Sanguine Dowsing Rod. And then we're going to move her up here. And from there, she's going to blood hunt. And we can probably have at least one person blood hunting here. I think probably just one person blood hunting here without patrollers. And I believe this will counteract it with we might have to bump this up to like 10 PD or something. But all the layering effects of candles and the PD and then the unrest reduction from this, it'll probably support one Blood Hunter. But that's all we're going to have for a while, is this one with the Sanguine Dowsing Rod sitting here blood hunting. So that would be kind of nice. And I believe one Blood Hunter with the Sanguine Dowsing Rod is like, I don't know, 4 blood slaves a turn. So, I mean, we're going to be on our way to being, depending on our research and when we hit vampires, we will maybe be a blood power. as context, it's turn 29, which if you're not a Blood Nation, this is kind of, it's a good time to be breaking in. It's hard to do it often before this, but there are a few things I've done. Okay, we'll cover diplomacy, and then I'll cover some of the logistics. So I think some of this I'd already mentioned. So Man was going to be attacking Ulm, but Patala declared war on Man, and Man asked Ulm to peace out, but Ulm said, I'm only going to go if Patala goes, and they peaced out together. Apparently, Patala said as a condition, they also can't attack me, which is really good. I heard two different stories on this. Utgard approached me and said, hey, do you want to help fight Man? Because I want to finish killing Felegra, and he had a big army here last turn. And this all happened right before the turn rolled. And I told him, hey, if you take Felegra's capital, I can come here and finish him off for you. And then you can turn this army around and go fight Man. But if you want to peace out with Felegra, I'm also cool with that, you know? But if you do, I'm not really sure if I want to attack Felegra. So don't tell Felegra that, for example, I was considering joining you and attacking them. So anyway, the Garm herdings have since moved up here to deal with Man. Now, there's some things we need to talk about, and I don't believe... So last turn was the first turn Felegra had to prepare. This is the second turn. They're going to have one more turn before things fire, and I actually really want these two to fight, because on one hand, I think Man's going to beat them. On the other hand, I think Felegra is going to cause damage, and Felegra has one secret weapon here. Well, not one. So this is what I'm going to tell him, and I'm probably going to tell him next turn, is that what they should do... They can conquer Man, but what they want to do is magic duel all his mages. Massive magic duels. And the reason is that these Garms, if you recall, have Aerophant in their Bless. Plus Blood Bond and Regen. They're just horrendous. They might even have Fortitude, too. They're just horrible to fight. They will murder Man's troops. Absolutely murder them. It's probably the scariest Utgard Hellbless I've seen. No scales, all Hellbless. The question, though, well, apparently he has growth even. Huh. Though some of that might be from a throne. But, yeah, it was a dormant Hellbless. Now, we'll be able to kill these guys. We'll just do fatigue plays on them, and none of the other stuff is going to matter. Like fatigue plays and skelly spams, each Garm... I mean, at maximum, they're going to kill like 70 skeletons a turn from that. I mean, they have good mages too, but anyway, I'm more scared about Man winning a little bit, just because they're bigger, like the economy. But if Utgard magic duels, right now Utgard hasn't won their first war. Man's won their first, and they're moving on to their second. So if Utgard magic duels all of Man's guys, Man's mages, or even most of them, the way Man wins this is by Gifts of Heaven spam, because Gifts of Heaven into Blood Bond Garm herdings blow them the fuck up. Like, it's crazy. But you need, like, a critical mass and this, that, and the other. And if Utgard kills, like, let's say there's 10 Gifts of Heaven casters. If Utgard just kills, like, 6 of them, so there's only 4 left, that's probably enough. Because they just have to not be able to kill these Garms fast enough with Gifts of Heaven. So anyway, he does that. He's going to be running all over Man. Now that leaves Felegra for me. And Felegra is probably... Now there's a really, really good Felegra player can do some pretty interesting things. You know, since they have basically the auto communions, they can do Earthquake, and they can do mass elemental spamming, and you know, they're going to have laestrygonian tyrants kind of soon. I think I have decent answers to all these things. The only thing I don't have a great answer to is laestrygonian tyrants. And I have a decent answer. We can life drain them, we can kill them, but if they have Phoenix Pyre, it's going to be a little tricky. There are good things about even if they have Phoenix Pyre, because normally the combination is like Soul Vortex and Phoenix Pyre. Well, Soul Vortex isn't going to work on my inanimate dudes, Tomb Worms. And they hit for a decent amount of damage. It doesn't look like that much, but once the enemy has Fate Weaving on them, it's kind of a lot. But importantly, critically even, He's not going to be able to heal a bunch of fatigue from the Tomb Worms when they finally close in melee. So it's very possible, and if he has something like Fire Shield, which is pretty common, or even just from hitting him, and he has a lot of attacks to proc this, he's going to be potentially proccing a lot of Blood Vengeance. So these guys are actually very killy towards Tyrants, who are themselves very killy, just because by them dying, they will be killing Tyrants. And then we can life drain them, of course. And potentially, we'll be able to Banefire them soon enough. What I would really like to figure out how to do is I'd really like to charm them, which I could run all the way down here to 7. But we can also do the Friendship Hat, which would be amazing. The problem is I don't have a way to make it very easily. What I need to do... let's just talk about what it would take to make the Friendship Hat. I'm going to pause and go to a test game. Okay, so this is a test game. Now, to make a Friendship Hat... wait 1 second. Control A. Wait, A. Defend. Okay, to make a Friendship Hat, we need Fire 5, Earth 3. Now, good thing is we have that cross path, right? We get them on some of our Sauramancers. Ideally, we got one of them where they would be 2. Now, the things we would 100% need. We may have done this in a previous video, but I haven't. It's not sorted in my head, so we'll do it again. We're definitely going to need one of these things, a Ring of Wizardry. And then fire is going to be the hardest path for us to climb, so we need a Fire Skull. And we definitely need a Fire Hat, right? But we're still not there. We'd probably also need a Staff of Elemental Mastery. And this is where it gets tricky, because I'd have to actually trade for one of these, and I don't really know how to do it. I don't really have a way to make it myself. So I think this will probably get us pretty close. The other option, of course, is we could Empower and Fire, or we could hope for a very rare, but you can see we got one here in this test game, a Fire 2, Earth 1 random. This is one of the 10% randoms. So if we don't get that, which we have a few turns for it to still happen on, these are things that would be reasonably easy for us to get. Oh, Earth Boots would be the other thing that's reasonably easy for us to get. But you can see this is still going to leave us one fire path short of being able to make the Friendship Hat. It's grayed out. We need to be Fire 5. Now, we could just put the Staff of Elemental Mastery on, and we wouldn't even need the boots. And then we'll be set. We could just do this thing. There's other ways to potentially do it too. So this would involve basically trading for one of these, which would be tricky for us to do. We could maybe trade for it with Arethyr or something. The other thing we could possibly do, and this one's a little crazy, because I think you're basically sacrificing a mage to do this, is it this thing? Yeah, this. So you could make this, and we could then take this guy, and we could put this on him and the Ring of Wizardry, and you can see we're already very close. So then we just do the Earth Boots and the hat, and we've got it. This thing is expensive, though. It's 40 Astral and 40 Fire, so very, very expensive. And essentially, this investment is going to be gone at some point, right? Because it's tainted, so we're gonna, and this is a very strong taint. We're gonna get cursed, and then in addition, you take additional, there's an additional chance that you get attacked by Hars that's independent of this. So you couldn't even put it on a golem and have him be safe. So that's the other way we could do it. Problem is, this actually is pretty tough for us to make too, because we have to have a Fire 5 mage. That would require a fire random, and then even climbing Astral is going to be hard. This will be almost as hard for us to make as the other thing, so this isn't a great deal. Are there other options? What are other ways? Because right now, boosting Earth is kind of easy. We're not really giving up any of the fire slots, if we look at it, to boost Earth. There's nothing here that we could take off that would... Oh, we put it on the wrong guy. But there's nothing there we could take off that would... we can't take the boots off and put something like a fire item in its place. And this is the only thing that only boosts Earth. So how else could we get to fire? We could empower. It's actually not very expensive. It's only 30 gems if we don't roll a random. So if we do that option, why am I talking about all this? Well, we're potentially going to be attacking Phlegra, and this could be the difference between us stealing laestrygonian tyrants of his, which would be a very big deal. So here we can do this with this stuff, which is stuff we're planning on forging anyway, basically, without the Staff of Elemental Mastery. If we get a fire random, or we empower and fire once. And this is going to give us the paths we need to make it. There's not really going to be other ways for us to do that easily. The other fire boosters, there's a fire booster, the Staff of the Sun, I believe. Let me see if we can find it. It's kind of weird looking thing. Here we go. So this, Astral 5, Fire 1. This is going to be difficult for us to make, but not impossible. This is actually a great item for casting Flames from the Sky. Because it gives you the fire boost, which is nice, but it also gives you spell range, which is really nice. So, this is a lot of pearls, and let's just look at how we might make that. Because it's tricky. You would use an Astral random. There's a very small chance you get an Astral 2 random, but that's like very, very small. And then basically we would need enough gear to get Astral up. So we'd take a Starshine Skullcap. We have our Ring of Wizardry already. We make a Crystal Coin, which is... where are you, Crystal Coin? Here. And we have to get up to 5, so we're probably not going to be able to do it. But, like... yeah, we need one more. And then it's like, okay, well, how do you get that last one? Like, Robe of the Magi could get you there. Or you could empower an Astral again. Or you can do... whatchamacallit? The Dimensional Rod, which actually is reasonably cheap. The Dimensional Rod is +1 Astral, and it's only 15 pearls to make. But you're basically condemning that dude to death. So like this, you could do this, and then we could do it. But, well, we can't even make it directly, right? But that lets us make the Sun Staff, which is this item. And then you take the Sun Staff. Now, this thing's forever pegged on this dude, which is a little annoying. And then you take the Sun Staff, and you could do that instead of the other thing. Yeah, the boots. And then this is enough to make it. Why is this important? It's probably best in... there's problems with the Friendship Hat, too. Let's go ahead and talk about the problems. Whoops. Friendship Hat, let's go ahead and make it... Where's my god? Let's move the god back. Problems with the Friendship Hat. Since we're on a Friendship Hat, apparently, episode. First of all, I'll show you the kit we'll do with it, because the kit's pretty cool. Main one is it's cursed. Normally wouldn't care, because it's best in slot. The problem is this is a Wish caster, and casting Wish is now a huge pain in the ass, right? So, like, can we cast Wish? Well, sort of, right? So, we could do this. Great, now we can cast Wish. Oh, wait, actually, that's enough. We only need 2. Okay, so I'm actually not worried about it then. Because we can do Wish with this on. I was thinking we'd have to wish for magical power. Okay, so that's fine. So let me show you how you kit this person to be just a very nasty wearer of the Friendship Hat. In my opinion, you do it somewhat like this. We would probably actually do rainbow armor just because we're probably more... We'd do that or element... Maybe we'd do elemental armor. I'll just go ahead and show you the kit. Where this like late game god tier kit. She doesn't have foot slots, at least not now. We might twice born her. And then for the miscellaneous, You can do pin boosting things, like this would be pretty cool, but we lose an eye. Again, we don't want to put cursed things in these miscellaneous slots because these are the ones we're going to be needing for Wish. The non-cursed things, let me double check and see if there's anything I'm forgetting. Yeah, the only thing that's non-cursed here is Spell Focus, and this has a downside of Fool's Luck, which actually, there's scenarios where Fool's Luck is actually really nice. This is not one of them. So that's kind of it's not really worth it. Taking double damage from laestrygonians, not something you want. We probably just put the Ring of Wizardry on him. And then that leaves one more slot open. And this one doesn't, I don't think there's anything here that really matters for this particular application. So this one would be just like a flex slot where you put something else in. The only thing that might be kind of good is a Moonvine Bracelet. So I'll show you what this would look like. And we'll use it against the laestrygonian since we've got it up. We've spent all this time. So we have Power the Spheres on her. She also can do all sorts of cool things like Soul Drain and stuff later. This is a very high-end super combatant. Very difficult to deal with. Like Protective Force 30. Very, very tough. So we'll go ahead and script her. She'll do Soul Vortex. And we're also going to empower her in Earth. Because that's in my mission statement here. And so she starts off Earth 2. We'll probably do actually Summon Earth Power, Soul Vortex. Temper Flesh actually we'd probably do a little earlier in the script. Iron Skin seems fine. And then Personal Regen. I don't know. We'd probably change it. I haven't really thought about this script. So let's take these guys, move them out. And on Marignon's side, let's summon a laestrygonian tyrant. And we will kit him out. We'll give him something that would be like pretty standard to see on them, like a brands, and then some angry hat, and then we'll put him Armor of the Knights. Though actually, we'll do something better. We'll stack up MR. We'll do like MR stacking. It's like he knows this is coming. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to survive this. Right? We'll see how well it works. We also we might use our God Alone. We'll see how it works with our God Alone. It's possible he kills our God. Considering I don't want to actually have to resurrect my God, let's do Ritual of Returning here. And then on Marignon's side, let's get this guy all... God, I have a lot of commanders here. Let's buff this... Get this stuff on this guy. And he's probably going to also want... we'll make him like a Ring of Regen. This would be like a very high, or a pretty high end. I don't want to get people angry by saying very high end, but this would be a pretty high end laestrygonian tyrant. And the script they would normally have would be something like Soul Vortex, or oftentimes it's Phoenix Pyre first, and then Soul Vortex, and then Temper Flesh, and then Summon Earth Power, and then maybe like Legions of Steel Attack or something. I don't know. Fire Shield would be pretty good too. And on Ctis' side, we're going to do this, and then advance and cast spells. And let's see what happens. Is this worth maybe even delaying a war with these guys until they have laestrygonian tyrants running around? Oh, that didn't work. I don't know why he wasn't casting Horde of Skeletons. Do we maybe cast it here? Okay, well there it worked. So it doesn't work every time, but there's other things we could maybe do to have it go off a bit better. I wonder if I can steal this guy back by having these guys cast Charm. I'm going to pause and just get him back. Well, I accidentally killed my god with the Deep Bug Senseis, and I don't feel like calling her back and re-kitting everything, so we'll just go back to the game. I was going to say, if we did Howl on our god, that's also a really great way to pick off these laestrygonians, too, on advance and cast, if we're, like, teleporting on top of them. But I would love to have 3 or 4 of those guys. That would be kind of sick, and I could potentially even get them all in one battle with a friendship hat, if our god is correctly positioned, etc. Like Rigor Mortis is really good against laestrygonians too. We have a lot of things which are really good, like lifeless units attacking laestrygonians with Rigor Mortis up, with life drain spam. It just is very good, and a lot of the cool things Phalegra can do in the late age that are like kind of busted, like earthquake spam and stuff, going to be horrible against our army composition. All their weapons that are any good, piercing. We've got Skeletal Legion. We've got so much good stuff. We're going to just raffle stomp them. That being said, I'm kind of inclined to wait for the laestrygonians to wake up, and kind of inclined, because honestly, to kill Phalegra, I need to show them some respect. I would need to pull at least, let's say, 8 Sauramancers out. And that's 8 Sauramancers, which is 8 times 17. What's the math? That's around like 140 research a turn, which is significant at our current rate. So, while I could potentially just use my god, I think it's better. I think my plan now is we're going to probably... Phalegra messaged me that they're at peace with Utgard. We have a nap. I have naps with all my neighbors except Ulm. I think we're going to just go Vulture. I've sent Batala a message, but they haven't logged in to look at the turn yet. But presumably I'm going to help. I think I'm going to go on Bogarus. Even if I just get like 3 provinces out of it, that's all I really need right now, because we're about to enter the huge power-up phase. And then ideally, after I get a little bit of stuff off these guys are embroiled in some war. I might have to intervene. I mean, I could intervene on either side, technically. Like, I could attack Utgard here if I have to. Or attack through here to get to Utgard. But ideally, this is a mutually destructive war, as I think we always... Well, that's not always what we want. Sometimes we want somebody to win a war. I would like to have Utgard slowly winning it. That would be my preference. But we're not going to intervene. This is going to be between them, most likely. Ideally, what happens is I have nothing to do with this war, but this doesn't go super one-sided either way. We get a little bit of vulturing out of Bogarus, and then right about the time we're getting Construction 8, somehow we figure out how to... We're going to have to build all the fire boosters. We found 1 fire site this turn, which is nice, but our fire income's friggin' garbage, despite the fact we've searched everything for Fire 1. But maybe we power up and try to trade gems, because we can probably buy fire gems or something if we need to. I've had a hard time trying to trade them away. Fortunately, these pearls we got from Utgard were from trading some of the last... all these were from trading our water away. So I was able to trade water away to get Earth and Astral, which are things I desperately need, because I want to empower... I wonder how hard... Let's go back to the test game real quick. All right, so in the test game, the Atlas of Creation, one of the items I would really like to get, it's... they have to be 5 in each of them. If I get Staff of Elemental Mastery and a lucky Earth Astral Random, these are like one of the 10% random varieties. If I get one of these guys and we put the Earth Boots and a Crystal Coin and this on them, we get up only to like Earth 4... Astral 4. So it's not even really enough. We're going to have similar problems on our god. However, the difference with our god, who we should probably just call back here. The difference with our god... What did we lose? Oh, I lost some Dominion. Perfect. The difference with our god is we don't want to put any of the cursed items on them. And there is one cursed item where we're trying to boost Earth that's relevant, which is this. The Pebble Suit. I don't think there's another Earth boosting item. Let me check real quick. Okay, so there's some kind of interesting things to look at. The pebble suit's kind of interesting. Doesn't use a lot of earth, which is nice. Gives us +1. Can turn us into a troll, which is kind of cool. And that is something we could have used on this Earth Astral random if we get that. But it's actually boosting... Well, I don't know. Boosting Astral is kind of its own trick, too. The main thing is, like, we could do Bloodstones. That's the other kind of... Or the Tome of Gaia. This thing. But it's still going to actually be really hard to get the Atlas of Creation. I want Earth on my god anyway, so that I can do Golems. Which... Yeah, we need to be Earth 2 at least. So with the Ring of Wizardry, we can do it. So I'm doing the Earth Empowerment pretty much... Well... It depends if we get the Earth Astral random. If we get the Earth Astral random, the Earth on my god would be mostly because it's awesome to have in combat. But it's not going to be as good because we'll have another way to summon golems. But to get up to Earth 5, which is the critical thing to do the Atlas of Creation, there's other things we might consider, like the Ritual... I don't know, but this is for casting. Hammer the Forge Lord. There's something here that gives you Master Smith. I think it takes this one, yeah. But Earth 6, yeah, forget about it. So, what would we do? We're not going to put that on, but we could put this on. We can put the Ring of Wizardry wherever I have that down here. Trade for that. We're getting into like some pipe dream stuff, like, because unless I have to have the Staff of Elemental Mastery. And we're still not there. I'd have to put a cursed item on like this, which I'm not going to do. So we'd have to empower our god again, is what this would mean. Or have like a Robe of the Magi, which there's no way we're getting. So, what is the summary of all that? It's going to be really fucking hard for me to get the Atlas of Creation, unless I can find my way into way more income. Falegra would be a decent way to do that, but we'll have to see. Anyway, let's go back to the game. So, back in the game, you know, we really are going... We don't have a ton of synergy. Like, there's not a ton of stuff we're getting at Construction 8 that's going to be epic. And it does, you know, going back all the way to Pretender Design, we were considering taking Earth 3 on our god. Or Earth 5. Was it 3 or 5? I think it was 5. I can't remember anymore, but it was Earth something. And there would have been that having Earth on our god would make this way better. Like, we would have way better. It would make our Construction 8 timing a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting. And our god would have been stronger earlier. Clearly, you can see our god has been whooping ass anyways. So that's kind of been all right. But there's not a ton. We'd have to give up... Like, the cost of it would be giving up magic scales, so we'd have significantly worse research, so we'd have a worse timing on Construction 8. Like, we'd get to it much later, which means we'd really be paying off, like, it'd be probably about 10 turns later till we got to it. So it'd be probably closer to turn 50 rather than 40 that we get it. And by the time you get to turn 50, it's like, there's a very good chance the game is already spiraling out of control by then. And that's like when we're starting to come online, it's just too late. And then magic scales are also great for Banefire and for Soul Vortex. Like, our magic scales fit into our build really well. But it's something we gave up. It would be so nice to have Earth on our god. I was really hoping we could get it through some of the thrones, but it just hasn't worked out. I think I mentioned we got the Ancient Temple and the Enchanted Pyre. Some events. Lost some province income. Gained some fire gems. Oh, this assassination attempt is ridiculous. Look at this. It's a Barghest, or Barghest, yeah. Curse Bestower, and has a venomous bite with a weak poison. Unfortunately, it's not nighttime. We cast Blessing, which at first when I saw this, I was like, no, you fucker, cast Horde of Skeletons. But this ends up saving us, kind of. Because Blood Vengeance triggers. Damn near kills himself. We miss. We've got a poison tick on us, but we didn't... We have poison resistance, so we only had 1 poison damage. And he's retreated. Thank God, because he was going to kill us. So. We escape here by the skin of our teeth. Though, it was not without cost, as our boy lost an arm. So he will not be holding any skull staffs in his future. And I think that's about it. We've turned on Sage. Oh, we'll go through all the logistical kind of things. We've turned on Sage production here. I was going to start... we might actually keep this guy here. I will keep him here hidden. I was going to start a fort construction here just because I want to protect this really high-value province. 3 gems and good income, and it's also a cave, which is easy for us to defend. So anyway, I want to protect it. However... I've decided I want to instead focus on... Well, actually, this is probably not... Oh, we're 1 turn away. I think I was upgrading this when I was thinking about putting a lab here and maybe getting more Sauromancers out. I think the thing is the math... Let's do the math. It's 1,000 gold for a level 2 fort. And the temple is going to add to it the cost of 400. So it's 1,400 for a level 2. If you upgrade it all the way, because I think we started doing that here, it's 300. So it's another 750, I believe, in total cost, because I think it's 450 for the next upgrade after this. Okay. No, it still works out even if there's only a temple. With a lab, the economics are in favor of upgrading to a citadel for commander production. But I think even with only a temple, it is. So, yeah, we've decided that this place, we're only going to start making priests out of here. We want to put some just like here and here. Like, we need 3 more anyway, just to make our sacred serpents. But we're just going to start turning on priest production for our reanimation shenanigans now. And this fort that we're building here, I also realize I'm getting close to being overbuilt too. So I'm kind of pumping the brakes. I had moved things around and like hired slightly different things, so I had enough money to upgrade a fort or start building a fort here. But I think we're going to be overbuilt if we build this one. Because this fort is finishing next turn. We'll need to upgrade it. We've got the temple coming up. So we're going to have costs of upgrading it. Plus, we're going to start building our first Sauromancer here. This fort's not very long in coming up, and then this is going to need the full lab and temple suite, so we're going to need a lot of money for doing that. This one, we're not going to build a temple here, which is kind of curious, because you'd be like, oh, of course we should. Well, no. I mean, we might. No, we won't. As I say, we might just to get the sacred serpents, but that's not worth it. So this will not be a sacred serpent location. But yeah, these sages don't need it. They're my only mage that doesn't need temples. And so we're going to be pounding them till the king comes home. And we're upgrading this. Want to get this as a citadel as soon as we can so that we can get all the sages we possibly can. Because 15 per turn is amazing. I mean, this is going to be it's one of our most valuable provinces right now. So we just want as many sages as we could possibly get. Also, since they're old, they can get diseased and stuff. We might put a temple here. This might be one of our... Because this also is a pretty nice province. It's got a dying forest. And the convent's kind of nice. We may put a temple... Like, a templed fort, not a labbed fort here. This is going to be a blood hunt. We're going to put our first blood hunter here. There won't be a lab for them, but we can shuttle the slaves to and fro. But it would be nice to be able to make some of these sisters who can, if nothing else, heal these guys. But we're probably also going to need them to get diseases off of our Sauromancers who are going to get hit by Skeletal Legion. So that's going to be another thing we kind of need. So yeah, that's some of the mechanics. Production is humming along. I'm coming through every turn, checking to see how many extra commander points. Sometimes if we have more, like if we're not going to finish the first guy, we're going to turn off production of the second guy. It frees up a little cash so that we can be using all our cash every turn. We don't have it sitting here piling up in mages that we can't actually recruit that same turn. Like here you can see it zeroes out. Next turn we're going to have to go in and add another one. We can do it now, but I don't know. Don't like, even where we're not spending all of it, I want to see how much money I have. Technically, and this is actually kind of a funny thing, it's a way, if you know Utterdark's going up and you have a big treasury, you can like actually bank up a lot of money, like hide it from, like if your income upkeep thing is negative, you can actually hide your treasury from the game every turn by slamming commanders here. Kind of weird, funny fact. We're moving some of the troops out here just to help patrol this province down. And this is probably going to scare Ulm. I'm going to send him a message so that I don't spook him. Moving those troops on top of my god, trying to get the unrest down. I'm game to nap 3. If you want to as well. Cheers and good luck this turn in the fort storming. He and I are friends. Like, we don't know each other, but... And he certainly doesn't know I'm on an alt. But we've been very friendly with each other this game. And I helped him out magic phasing on top of that Veti thing. We've been talking about a bunch of shit. That's one of the things I'm liking in this is I'm pretty friendly with all my neighbors. The neighbors I'm kind of least friendly with are Phlegra, because they haven't been very chatty with me. Though it's not like they haven't returned Diplo. And Bogarus I just haven't spent much time talking with. But both of them are fine. They've been kind of friendly enough. But like Arco and I have worked together, Ulm and I have worked together. Well, Man's kind of bullied me out of this throne. It's a little bit annoying. But he's gonna have to fight Utgard, and that's fine with me. I don't have any inclination to get involved in either side of that. Okay, let's answer this final question, and then well, I think we already have. But when do we attack Phlegra? Do we just wait? There are maybe interesting plays Phlegra could do that could win. They could stack MR on a laestrygonian tyrant and have him do Firestorm. And that could potentially, depending on how many serpents we have, he could potentially endure the Blood Vengeance and wipe my army. That would be annoying. We're getting probably one more Tomb King. This is probably going to be the last Tomb King we get for a while. After that, I'm probably going to twice-born these guys. I kind of was thinking maybe I kill them off too, but I'm not sure if that's the right play either. Because it might be good to go ahead and use them. I do like the idea of killing Phlegra now. The thing is, I think too, if I kill Phlegra, it's going to take all of my stuff. And that means if anybody ended their nap with me, the only thing I'd be able to defend with my god. And I don't like that. That's like one line of defense. They can make some like basically impossible scenarios where it would kill my god. So I think we're going to leave Phlegra be. We're going to let them start getting laestrygonians. I'm going to try to steal them with my god later. And I think we're going to vulture Bogarus now. So when would we attack them? Probably at least 8 turns from now. So we'll probably be close to turn 40. But if they get attacked by somebody else, or they pick a war with somebody else, or they lose a big army, we might just pull that in. I think we could kill them now with reasonably small amounts of attrition, but it would require me to slow down my research, which is going to actually lower my power, even though I get more land. And it's going to require me to evacuate my land, where if somebody else attacks me, I'd probably die. So I don't think we're going to do that. All right. A long episode, as it turns out. Lots of rambling, lots of little things, but these are the things that I at least enjoy thinking about in the mid-game of Dominions. So we'll see you next time. Take care.